Thought I'd had that fixed out. Let's try that again. Let's see. That's better. That's better, not getting the echo. Hello, folks. Well, I'm all over the place. I've got this stream going in so many places, and oh, that's interesting. There's going to be a lot of mucking around because I'm trying to manage what's going on, and the Instagram. Oh no, here we are. Instagram's back up. Hello, Instagram. Nice to see you. I'm Grant. I'm a bird nerd, also a plant nerd. I wish I could do all these in one dashboard. It'd be much easier. Today we're just going to look at some of the news from around the world. All right, Instagram's miles behind by the look of it. Or is that the vertical live stream? Oh, I don't know. I think I've got an extra YouTube going. Anyway, hello. Okay, so you can hear the microphone on Insta. Thank you. That's great. Thanks, Naomi. Yeah, I think it's the vertical YouTube that might not be going right, but at least we've got Insta going, and it's vertical, right? You can see vertical with the green background, olive green background, and the dodo. Is that what you've got there, Naomi? And in a moment I can change it over to the news feed, and this is really what we're going to be checking out. We're going to be looking at what's been popping up in my news feed. There hasn't been a lot of good news, has there? This is the story I wanted to start with. The fact that we still don't have the Great Koala National Park, which was promised by the New South Wales government. Excuse me, but just hasn't eventuated. And that while we're waiting for it, and while conservationists and scientists are telling us that the outlook for koalas in New South Wales is dire, they're burning and clear felling parts of the forests that are earmarked for the Great Koala National Park. Now, there's people who are doing their best to new comments. Here we go. That's great. Thanks, Naomi, letting me know that it's going well on. Is that the YouTube vertical or the YouTube normal, like the normal horizontal stream, Naomi? Because we've got. Well, it's good we've got the horizontal. The horizontal on YouTube's working, and it's going out to Twitch as well. Fine, and obviously Facebook is fine, and the vertical. Okay, so all we've got to do. So you're getting you're hearing me fine on the vertical as well. Okay, so now all I've got to do is organise how to get all the chat into one place. So I don't have to keep going over and checking out what's going on Instagram. Yeah. There we go. And Instagram folks, when you do hear me saying hello to you. You're quite delayed compared to the other streams, so I'll keep trying to come back and seeing what you're doing. Okay, let's go back to. I've been trying to be positive. I mean, the New South Wales Labor government has done a few interesting things lately. I mean, it's updated its approach on tenancy laws, which was certainly good, certainly welcome. But we're just not getting the movement on conservation issues, and it makes me wonder a little bit about the politics of these issues. It looks like in the US, it looks like the Democratic Party are lifting their popularity by leaning into the left of their base. That's where the enthusiasm is coming from. We're just not seeing it in Australia, and I fear that by a left-leaning party trying to do the centre and do the right, or do the right of centre, I don't think it's a good recipe for longevity of those governments, and it's certainly not getting what those of us who felt a sense of joy when we changed governments here in this country. Certainly not heading that way. Anyway, there's plenty of advice in from the science community that we just need to stop cutting down native forests, and we need. There just doesn't seem to be any. There doesn't seem to be any scientific opinion out there that says you can protect koalas and continue to destroy their habitat. What we know is that species are mobile, and they need to be able to move when we have fires and floods and instances like in WA with dieback. When there is a situation that causes populations to decline in one area, they either die or they have to move, and if they can move. And the frustrating thing is that with all the best intentions of planting new trees while we're reducing suitable habitat for any species now, it's in the Australian context, it's just not going to be acceptable. It's not going to preserve the target species. Now, this is a story I did want to have a look at. That bird there is the capercaillie, a grouse from Scotland, and it's endangered. And in an effort to preserve the numbers, reduce predation, they're setting up artificial feeding stations for, here we go, pine martens and badgers, mammals that will generally eat capercaillie eggs. They're trying to give them other feeding opportunities so that they more of their eggs survive, and there's more of a chance that the birds are able to replace better than replace their existing numbers. Now, as often happens, management is being done based on assumptions rather than hard data. And there is a thought that if you kill pine martens, where they are preying on capercaillie, that would assist capercaillie. But the evidence, there is no real evidence for that. So instead of killing the pine martens, they're just trying to offer them easier food sources. And the location where they're concentrating this is the Cairngorms National Park, the last significant refuge in Scotland of the capercaillie. About 500 birds remaining, so they're in a situation that similar to the swift parrot, and in about the same place that the orange-bellied parrot was in a handful of years ago. So the idea is, and the researcher doing this is Jack Bamber, the University of Aberdeen School of Biological Science, PhD candidate, checking out if providing alternative food sources for predators could actually entice or even train them into preferring something other than eggs. So let's check out the video. I'm hoping that we're hearing any. That's a female capercaillie. Doesn't look like there's any. So there we are. That's a capercaillie nest. Ground level. Probably camouflaged quite well for people walking past, but oh, that's their false nest. Beg your pardon. So the idea is that they are placing carrion, generally deer carcasses, in the nests, in the fake nests. Hen eggs. Oh. I getcha. Okay, so the way the research went was that Jack Bamber put fake nests out, and in half of the fake nests, he would place hen eggs and eggs that were filled with wax, and half of the nest would be filled with some deer meat, deer carrion. And the wax eggs, the idea was that they could, and they were tethered, so they couldn't be stolen, but they could get, they could recognise from the scratches and the claw marks, the teeth indentations, they could build up a record, an individual record of the martins. I've got to read this paper because that sounds and the badgers, that sounds crazy. But over the 2 breeding seasons that they did this research, they found that there was an 83% increase in the survival of nests in the areas where fake nests with carrion were provided. So they were able to divert the attention of those predators, badgers and pine martens, quite significantly, 83%. So it all seems pretty groovy. I'd like to speak to Jack about that. I'll bookmark this one. Now, there's a couple more in this news feed that I wanted to find some good news, but nearly all the climate news is terrible. Nearly all the environment news is upsetting. Landmark new research shows how global warming is messing with our rainfall. That was from The Conversation. Reuters, climate change causing more changes in rainfall. Fiercer typhoons, scientists say. Yeah, it's depressing. Where's the rest of the environment news? We don't want that news. Where are my saved ones? All right. Now, I did like this one. Now, this story got my attention. Angry birds are attacking New York's shark drones, and the results could be fatal. And the angry birds that they're talking about are oyster catchers, American oyster catchers. And they are dive bombing in the similar way that masked lapwings do here in Australia. The drones that the life-saving groups, I'm not sure what they're called in, there we are, the New York Parks Department on the beaches south of Brooklyn and Queens. They're using drones similar to the way that we do here in Australia, and the way that in the decades past we had the light planes and helicopters looking out for sharks. Well, they're using drones in New York, Brooklyn and Queens, and the oyster catchers are dive bombing the drones, and they're taking them out. Of course, oyster catchers are shore nesting birds. similar to our dotterels and plovers here in Australia, and they're fiercely protective of their nest and their young ones. And why this caught my eye was, are we going to be seeing situations like this when all these food delivery drones start operation in Australia? Hello, Nelson. Oh, wow. Oh, final. Yeah. Instagram is way behind. I think I'm going to have to do Instagram. I'm going to have to do Instagram as separate streams, I think. Sorry, Naomi, I wasn't looking. Yeah, if we're going back to the pine marten story, it does go against your initial thoughts, doesn't it? That if you are encouraging the predators, well, that there'll probably be more predators. Hello, Twitch too, by the way. Nice to see you. Just noticed that Twitch have come on board. Great to see. Jump in if you've got any questions or comments. Jump into the comments. But I guess it comes down to how much food is available. If you're actually making food easier for predators to find, I guess there's always, there's a bit of economics in survival, isn't there? If there's easy to get food, well, you'll go for that rather than the harder to get food. So I'll try and track Jack down for a chat, and because it is interesting, certainly interesting. And you don't have to take your comment back, Naomi. It's always interesting when there's some surprising research. Okay. To get back to, where are we? Back to this one. So, of course, people are upset about the oyster catchers are tracking the drones because if there's a shark attack, everyone will blame the birds, and then they'll probably all well, you know what'll happen if they attack the birds. Now this is a I briefly reference what's been happening in Perth with the dieback. So this is not Western Australia, where it's been widely reported large patches of vegetation, native vegetation and forests dying as a result of heat stress or water stress. Excuse me. Same thing happening in eucalypt woodlands. This is Laura, South Australia's mid-north. We're seeing a big thinning event of some of our native trees, particularly the blue gums and sugar gums on the tops of ridges, Mr. Smith said, whose property borders a conservation park. The soil's not that deep, there's no water table to tap into, and less than 200 millimetres of rain in 12 months is just not enough for the plants to survive. A lot of the new ones, which are only 10 years old, are dying, but also we're seeing trees that are 50 years plus dying because they haven't seen this type of dry. And I mean, University of Melbourne botanist Gregory Moore, he was the principal of the college when I was at Burnley, said there were widespread reports of native species dying off this year. It's happening in quite a number of places, South Australia and Victoria, but also parts of Tasmania. So it's been a sort of reasonably common observation in the last maybe 3 to 6 months. Most of us are seeing at the moment, what most of us are seeing at the moment is that the soil is dry, the plants have been stressed, and the root systems start to starve. Dr. Moore said, Australian natives were resilient and well adapted to harsh conditions. Recent seasonal changes led to more dying out. It's often becoming a bit warmer in these places. It's drier, and when the rain falls, it's sometimes falling in the drier months, so that water evaporates as well. So you've got this sort of combination of factors, and you can get this acute response, which is a very rapid sort of collapse of the tree, and that's from embolism. But you also get this slightly slower response where trees die over a period of weeks or months, literally from starvation of the root system. If you start seeing trees where parts of trees or whole trees die with the leaves still on, that's the sign of a really serious stress, and that's what we're seeing more of. Dr. Moore said many eucalypts could bounce back when rain arrived, but that was not guaranteed if they're near starving. It's very, very concerning. Some of these losses could be devastating because when you lose the remnant vegetation that you've got, it's not only that species that you lose all the other species that are associated with it. You might have 50 to 100 other species or organisms that depend on that particular species. So if you lose it, you're not just losing a tree, you're starting to lose an ecosystem. So, it's one thing about Greg, he's not sounding the alarm, is he, about climate change or needing to do some action. Yeah. Just depressing, isn't it, though? I mean, that's happening over all states. And what happens if the trees die before they get through that part of the cycle in the year where they would be normally setting seed, and they aren't able to shed any seed, as a lot of eucalypts do when they're under stress, well, then you'd lose that potential for recruitment when rain returns and when seasons are favourable. And that can lead to a succession in the type of vegetation. So we could rapidly see types of woodlands or forests being changed unintentionally. I thought this was interesting. I'd wanted to talk about this for a little while. So where's my news? Where's my news thing? Here we go. Climate change is messing with time more than previously thought, scientists find. So, this is a couple of weeks ago I got hold of this. The impacts of human-caused climate change are so overwhelming, they're actually messing with time, according to new research. Polar ice melt caused by global warming is changing the speed of the Earth's rotation and increasing the length of each day in a trend set to accelerate over this century as humans continue to pump out planet heating pollution, according to the study published Monday, that's 2 weeks ago, in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. The changes are small, a matter of milliseconds a day, but in our high-tech, hyper-connected world, they have an important impact on computing systems that we have come to rely on, including GPS. It's yet another sign of the huge impact humans are having on the planet. This is a testament to the gravity of ongoing climate change, said Surinder Adhikari, a geophysicist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory and an author of the report. The number of hours, minutes and seconds making up each day on Earth are dictated by the speed of the Earth's rotation, which is influenced by a complex knot of factors. These include processes in the planet's fluid core, the ongoing impact of the melting of huge glaciers after the last ice age, as well as melting polar ice due to climate change. For millennia, however, the impact of the moon has dominated, increasing the length of a day by a few milliseconds per century. The moon exerts a pull on the Earth, causing the oceans to bulge towards it, gradually slowing Earth's rotation. Scientists have previously made connections between polar ice melt and longer days, but the new research suggests global warming is a bigger influence on time than recent studies have shown. In the past, the impact of climate change on time has not been so dramatic, said Benedict Soja, a study author and assistant professor of space geodesy at the Swiss University ETH Zurich. But that could be changing. If the world continues to pump out planet heating pollution, climate change could become the new dominant factor, outpacing the moon's role. It works like this. As humans warm the world, glaciers and ice sheets are melting, and that meltwater is flowing from the poles towards the equator. This changes the planet's shape, flattening it at the poles and making it bulge more in the middle, slowing its rotation. This process is often compared to a spinning ice skater. When the skater pulls their arms in toward their body, they spin faster. But if they move their arms outwards, away from their body, their spin slows. The team of international scientists looked at a 200-year period between 1900 and 2100. Using observational data and climate models to understand how climate change has affected day length in the past and to project its role in the future. They found the impact of climate change on day length has increased significantly. Climate change-fueled sea level rise caused the length of a day to vary between 0.3 and 1 milliseconds in the 20th century. Over the past 2 decades, however, the scientists calculated an increase in day length of 1.33 milliseconds per century, significantly higher than at any time in the 20th century, according to the report. If planet heating pollution continues to rise, warming the oceans and accelerating soar, the report found. If the world is unable to rein in emissions, climate change could increase the length of a day by 2.62 milliseconds by the end of the century, overtaking the natural impacts of the moon. In barely 200 years, we will have altered the Earth's climate system so much that we are witnessing its impact on the very way Earth spins, Adhikari told CNN. A few milliseconds of additional time a day may be imperceptible to humans, but it has an impact on technology. Precise timekeeping is vital for GPS, which everyone with a smartphone will have, as well as other communication and navigation systems. These are highly precise atomic time. These use highly precise atomic time based on the frequency of certain atoms. From the late 1960s, the world started using coordinated universal time to set time zones. UTC, Universal coordinated time, relies on atomic clocks but still keep pace with the planet's rotation. That means at some point leap seconds need to be added or subtracted to keep alignment with the Earth's rotation. Some studies have also suggested a correlation between an increase in day length and an increase in earthquakes, said Mustafa Kiani Shavandi, a study author and geoscientist at ETH Zurich. But the connection remains speculative and much more research needs to be done to establish any clear link. So we don't need to go through the rest of that, but we are making heaps and heaps of difference, and we are not really sure we're not really sure what might happen if we keep doing it. All right, bird watching. I just thought this was something less gloomy. It's from, a week or so back. 10 brilliant birding holidays. 10 brilliant birding holidays. So these are places we can just dream of going, right? Norway. Varanger in Norway. Monteverde in Costa Rica. That's somewhere I would love to go, Costa Rica. Wow. I'm just looking at how different this colour is being reproduced on the different streams that I've got going. Very interesting. Monteverde, we've got to there. Cyprus wheat ears. Cyprus. That would be interesting. Yeah, it's a choke point for the flyway. That would be a great place to go. The Pantanal in Brazil. I'm pretty sure that the stream out on the YouTube is not getting that in the beautiful colours that it's showing up on the vertical stream. Look how bright those hyacinth macaws are. So the Pantanal, that would be a great place to go. Where's this? Look at all these bald eagles. Where's this? Is this Alaska? Yeah, Alaska. Emperor geese in that shot. I'm not hearing any sound. I'm pretty sure there probably was with that. We'll have to work out how to do that on the stream. All right, this looks like bee eaters. Yes. Okavango, Botswana. That would be amazing. I wonder if... I really would love to go there. Chicanas also. Okavango. Try that one again. No, I'm not getting any sound on that one. Sorry about that. Blue-footed booby. So where's that? The Galapagos. That would be amazing trip. Galapagos penguins. Oh, look at that. The Kagu. The Kagu. It's New Caledonia. Oh. Sierra Leone. Wow. That would be pretty amazing, wouldn't it? Sierra Leone. And then where's this? Japan. Yeah, Hokkaido. That would be amazing too. Oh, there we go. I was hoping that would cheer me up, but it's hasn't really. Hasn't really at all. Yeah. All right. Oh, I've done that again. Hopefully that's dropped off. No, I've got it again. How about that? That's better. I think I've got too many inputs. All right. Well, we did have some good news. Looks like there's no nuclear. They're dropping the idea of nuclear nuclear reactors in Australia again. Now, let's see what we can find in Twitter. Anything good? Oh, now that's sorry for the look at this. This is fires in I think that's in California. That'd be the ones in Canada, I think. Oh, lovely shot there from Sandy Horn. White-throated Girigany. Oh, look, I tell you what, I'm going to just come back and chat. It's depressing, all this So let's come back and look at some comments. Yes, Naomi, how good would it be to go to all those places? Jeez, I've got to do something about the colour in this stream, in this backdrop. That's awful, that brown. I'm planning at the moment, Naomi, to do a short trip away of maybe a week, but going to the sanctuary in for the Bali starling in Bali, funnily enough, and then going to I don't like my name thing there. I might take that off too. And then going into the Philippines, and if I can get into Mindoro and the foundation looking after the Philippine eagle and the Philippines cockatoo. So it would just be a real hit and run to flying in and going to as many places as I could within the week. But Mindoro is one of those places where there's a separatist movement in the Philippines, a sort of indigenous self-determination movement, and can be a bit dodgy for foreigners. A bit dodgy for anyone from anywhere in Indonesia. And Naomi says, "Yeah, that sounds fantastic. I hope you can organise it." This is the thing that we struggle with. Naomi says perhaps not the dodgy spot. The reason I really want to go to Mindoro is that there are a number of really, really endangered birds, and there's some really dedicated researchers, like the Mindoro bleeding heart pigeon is one I really want to check out, and they just get no attention whatsoever. Even within the Philippines, they're not a well-known bird. And then obviously, when does anyone ever hear about the Philippines in the context of, Western nations or other rich sort of Asian nations? We only hear about it in terms of the South China Sea dispute with China. So yeah, but what I was going to say, Naomi, is it's cheaper to go and do a quick trip to 3 cities in Asia than it is for me to go and spend the same amount of time anywhere in Australia. It's nuts. So it's just crazy how expensive it is to do anything in Australia now. So I'm just checking on I can see that the notifications went out on Instagram, so that's good. I'm glad we got that bit worked out and that's working. Now I've just got to work on making these all these little scenes look a lot nicer. That one's nicer, isn't it? Oh, except what have I done? I got rid of my myself, but I'll play around and build a lot more of those things so we can be a bit more seamless in our transitions from now on. The main thing I wanted to do today was just check that all these things were working. And they seem to be nicely. I can see everything's following up. That should be the Twitter. There we are. If we do that, then and then you even like the starting soon. So that was nice. So there we are. Yeah. Naomi, were you still here the other day when we were talking about doing the doing the Dawn Chorus again and doing a weekly first seen and heard roundup? I'm not sure whether you were still here when we were having that chat the other day. But yeah, your point is right. It's insanely expensive. It's actually not expensive to fly to places in Australia compared to but that just doesn't seem like a good. Just doesn't seem like a good thing to do. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Travel. So much conflict, so much internal conflict I have when I think about travel. But I really want to do some more things with being able to get actually face to face with researchers and bird watchers, and there's not many of them around my place. So Naomi's just mentioned that she liked the Dawn Chorus. She missed the discussion that we were having the other day. So what I'm thinking of doing, Naomi, is doing a Dawn Chorus every week. And as part of that Dawn Chorus, would do a summary of the first seen and heards, and I'm hoping the weather has broken, like the bad weather has disappeared for a little while, and good. That's good. The Instagram's still going. It's gone past the hour. That's good. Must be about to drop off. We'll try and do more bird watching and maybe do some surveys together as well as part of that live stream. Perhaps we'll just do a highlight of any of bird surveys we've done. I'm going to try and discipline myself. Maybe starting today. What is it? It's only 2:00. Well, Naomi's just asked me, here we are, we'll share it, what day would you plan to do this on? Well, I'm open to that. I mean, my preference would actually be to do it on a Sunday, but I'm not sure that people want to pop into a stream on a Sunday. But I'm thinking that maybe if it was a Sunday afternoon, late Sunday afternoon kind of thing, that there may be more people wanting to talk about bird watching rather than policy and research and stuff. I don't know. What day would you like it to be on it, Naomi? We'll just see if anyone's got a comment. The thing with the Dawn Chorus, for it to work, I really need people to participate in it, and I'm testing how easy it is to share files in the via the Discord. That might be easier. And the way I'm doing the stream now, even though I'm using StreamYard, I'm actually creating it all in something else, and it's I can use different video formats rather than having to do all that processing I had to do before. Naomi says, afternoon is better on a Sunday if you can choose that day, because everyone would have done their birding and recording. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Everyone might just want to chill out. Oh, excuse me. It also means I can, we don't have to choose which day we record our dawn chorus. Like we don't have to do it on a Wednesday and then replay them on a Wednesday. You can go and do a dawn chorus any morning of the week and get them to me, and then on Sunday I can play them back. So I just need to do a bit more testing with the idea of the Discord server to get them delivered. I think some people had problems sending them email. Obviously you didn't, but I did get quite a few comments from people saying they couldn't send them, or whether they have restrictions with their email or whatever. And it's just not easy to get files uploaded through other services. There's all sorts of restrictions on file type and file size, and some people can't send video files that are any larger than 20 seconds or 30 seconds, which is annoying, but we'll work it out. But yeah, so the idea would be, Naomi, is that anytime it's convenient, go and record your dawn chorus, make some notes about it. And I think to make it more interactive, I would like people to come into the studio, like come on screen, or with the Discord, you could just, if you didn't want to be visible, you could just talk and talk about what it's like where you did your recording. Was anything unusual? Just to make it a bit more chit-chatty about birds. That's yeah. Speaking about birds, the last couple of days, not yesterday. When did I go? I went down to the shops this morning, and this morning I saw a pair of pelicans working the thermals over the cricket ground and the skate park where I live, and the big car park. So there's a lot of paved area. The pelicans were working the thermals, but on Sunday, it was Sunday, a large flock of white ibis, Australian white ibis, and two straw-necked ibis in amongst them were working the thermals in the same place. So those water birds are on the move. This is big news. Naomi's got two azure kingfishers using the pond and nesting near the billabong. Have you seen where they're nesting? Are they nesting in a hollow, or or are they in the bank of the billabong or bank of a creek? That is good. That is exciting news. They're stunning, aren't they? They're just amazing. That is cool. Folks, this is the time where we just throw it over to comments or thoughts. Not seeing any comments or thoughts in the verticals yet. So they're in the hollow of a fallen tree, Naomi says. So yeah, that's generally where Azures prefer a little hollow, broken branch or something. Doesn't need to be terribly deep. So that's great. That's great. Oh, good. Oh. Did I get that muted? Yeah, muted there. Okay, good. All right, I don't have a whole lot more to a lot more to say. I'm pleased that this has all worked. Now I can tidy it up, build some more scenes, bring in some more sounds, make some transition videos so that everything's a bit smoother next time. And if I can work out how to do the chat, combine all the chat, that would be really, really cool. Oh, Naomi, you've got it all happening. Spotted pardalites nesting in my stone retaining wall. Well, you need to get some photos of the pardalites coming in and out, the same as the azure kingfishers. That would... You're lucky. You're lucky. I found red wattlebirds nesting. I found some crested pigeons nesting. I've got spotted doves nesting just outside my window. Haven't heard the pardalites around here. I know that the noisy miners are nesting. I haven't found the nest. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to get too close, but just get your big power zoom lens onto them, Naomi. In goldfinches, like last year, it was about this time they started turning up. Isn't that crazy? I'm getting excited by goldfinches. Since all the mature trees got taken down out along Sunshine Avenue, out near the electricity substation, that was where the red rumps used to feed, and I think there must have been a hollow somewhere around there that they were breeding. I haven't seen the red rumps since those trees got removed, so that's not fantastic. All right, so Naomi, I'll start working out the August. Set out the dawn choruses and the Sundays. I think we'll try that and see how that works. And depending on how many interviews get confirmed, I'll do some of the interviews as sort of members only thing, which would be cool. Okay, so Naomi found red-browed finches nest, fantastic. Thornbills, variegated fairy wrens, and superb. Oh, it's pretty good. But the wind chill could be a problem. Yeah. Well, you're lucky to have all those small birds. I'm always going crook about it here. It just was it Sunday? I went and checked out a few of the parks in the local area, looking for wrens or thornbills or scrub wrens or silver eyes or anything, but no. So I need to get some more bird watching. I need to expand my localities because it's just depressing where the only birds I'm seeing really are the old standards. Yes, you're lucky, Naomi. Bushy undergrowth. We need more undergrowth. No, it's pretty difficult for me to get to Werribee unless I can organise to go with someone, and I haven't found a Werribee birding buddy. Yeah, it's really difficult to get to Werribee on your own without a vehicle. I'll have to get a bike. If I get a bike, I can. I used to be a key holder and be able to go whenever I wanted to, but not anymore. For me, where I am, because the train to Bendigo goes through here, I can actually get up to some of those sites around Bendigo a bit easier. But again, I really need to grab a bike and to get out to those places. Yeah, Anderson Garden. Yeah, Anderson Garden's good. There's a number of good gardens. There's actually a couple that I'm trying to organise some interviews with some local nurseries for Habitat Garden interviews in some of the parks that are nearby, like in the same general area of some of the nurseries. So I'm looking forward to doing that, but it's still a bit cold and the weather's still a bit dicey to lock those in. But yeah, there's going to be a bit. Going to do a bit like that. So now that I've got the new streaming sorted out and that I can do the streams to all the places, I can start working on that old plan of taking things out to the people. Yeah, be good. All right, folks. What I would like to, Naomi, I'm a lurker of the Bendigo groups and the, and I'm always lurking the sightings out there. A couple of the people who drop the great photos, I'm hoping to have them on Photography Friday. So yeah, there's just an issue with the place I really want to get to. It's not an easy place to walk to, so I need to organise to do a meet up with some people, and we'll do that as soon as it's not too cold. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to head up to Brisbane and up to Sydney to do like a birdie weekend meetup. So, but I'll probably do Bali first. Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. If I want to come and go bird watching with you, Naomi, I need to save about 3 times as much as I do to go to Bali for a weekend to do an interview. It's insane. Yeah, I don't mind Facebook groups. I just can't stand the Facebook general feed, and I can't stand the tone of. Oh, well, that's wrong. That's overstating it. Yeah, prices of Sydney. Yeah, just accommodation. Having somewhere to stay for 2 nights in Sydney, I can go to Bali for a week for the same price. It's nutso. Nutso. Yeah. I'll tell you what I can't stand now is X has just gone. I can't believe it. It's just now one big steaming pile of crypto rubbish, misinformation, and except when I'm looking at my my beautiful photography feed. Oh, goodness gracious. I've just seen that I've just seen that clip of Barnaby Joyce the other day. There's a good... I've just seen some good... just seen some good research on... is that... I'm hoping that this is public, is it? Sorry, just looking up some... oh, good, it is. It's open access. Fantastic. Sorry, folks, that's what happens. I get onto the Twitter or the X. As Naomi says, where I'm still finding X or Twitter is worthwhile is like I just did. I was just scrolling and I just found a really good paper on echoacoustics. Reviewed studies connecting sound to the environment, identified research gaps and proposed questions to advance echoacoustic theory. So that'll give me time to something to read while I'm waiting around for Olympics. Naomi's just pointed out that I'd probably spend less on accommodation in Bali. Yeah, that's for sure. The other benefit too is that I've got some friends in Bali where I can, sleep on the couch or whatever. It's so yeah. One of the benefits of having gone on I went on a school exchange to Bali when I was in year 9. I've managed to stay in touch with a few people from way back then. So that's pretty cool. Now, totally indulgent, I was thinking that I would not get enthused about the Olympics because I've had this thing, this bee in my bonnet. There's always money for stuff except conservation, right? There's always money for stuff except climate change. There's always... but I have been enjoying seeing many of the minor nations, the nations that you don't expect to be winning gold medals in the swimming or... it's really only the swimming I've been watching. Oh, and the canoeing and the kayaking. I really liked seeing people from the minor nations doing well. And the one thing I've noticed about the Olympics that I've felt positive about for this so far is that it seems quite a friendly Olympics, and I'm not seeing, even in the crowds, I'm not seeing the insane patriotism, and it just seems a bit softer and gentler than I remember them. Even the Australian fans don't seem as ridiculously boisterous as they frequently are. Maybe that'll change as the sports different sports start getting featured. But I felt like things are a little bit more normal. I just feel like things are getting a little bit normal. Interesting, Naomi. The opening ceremony, while I was watching it, I didn't really get into it until right near the end. I thought the end, as the torch made its way up towards the balloon, I liked that. I liked they had a lot. They didn't make a big feature of one person lighting the torch. I liked how there were, and they were obviously famous French or European athletes who I had no idea who they were, but passing the torch and taking 10 metres or so and then handing the torch off. I really liked that. There was a real sense of inclusivity, and I enjoyed that. And I like that the French, the whole Parisian and French history and the things that France is famous for were being featured. It didn't really grab me, but I love that it was so different, and it has broken the mould about what is possible for those kind of events in the future. So yeah, I really hope that there is a bit more experimentation, shall we say, with events like that in the future. Really enjoyed it. So it was too long. The opening ceremony was too long. But I'm not even sure what the dinner really was. I did like that the Conservatives in the US were going crazy about all the representations of sexuality that were in the opening ceremony. I thought I loved that the French are confident enough to do it and just say stuff you. You know, I thought that was great. I didn't quite get was it Marie Antoinette singing, holding her head under her arm? I wasn't too sure what that was. And there didn't seem to be any commentary, certainly on the Australian feed that I was watching. There didn't seem to be anything that explained what was going on. And I remember in all the Olympic opening ceremonies I've watched before, there was usually some narration where people would say, this represents the agricultural heritage, or this is, it just seemed to be, I was watching it and going, wow, what is that? Wow. And the people at Channel 9 either didn't have a sheet about the narration, or they were just spotting the celebrities. I didn't care about the celebrities. I felt like they were just wedged in. Anyway, that's it. Feeling quite upbeat about the about stuff. Hello, Suburban Dreaming on Instagram. Just explain. I'm Grant. This is the Bird Emergency. We're pretty much at the end now. It's been nice. People popping in on the Instagram. Nelson, Prisms of Life, Vicky, Suburban Dreaming. But it's so far behind that I do really need to have a little explainer video going on or something on the on that feed, don't I? Saying what's what. Okay. Well, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to end the Instagram feed now. So Instagram folk, I still haven't got a good way of getting your comments. Well, actually, people don't leave comments by the look of it so far. But when that starts happening, it's easier if you're on the YouTube or the Facebook or the Twitch feed. But Instagram, thank you. I'm glad that we have the. Well, I hope if that's you there, if Suburban Dreaming, if that's you watching now. Oh no, it's Naomi. I just saw the count come up, Naomi, and then, of course, as soon as I say, yeah, I can see them, but I can't. Oh, hang on. There you are. I can pin your comment, but I can't bring it in. Can I pop it into... I can bring it into StreamYard like that, but that doesn't help. I need to be able to combine all of the chats into one space and be able to have it showing on my screens. I'll work on that. This afternoon. Naomi, are you around today or tonight? Because I might set up a test stream and invite you into it, and you can just tell me what you're seeing while I mess around with it. That might be good. All right then, Insta. I'm going to end the stream for you now. Thank you. Nice to see so many people dropping in. That was good, and I'll do a better job on the description and trying to train Instagram people on what to expect on the stream. I suspect I'll eventually have to just do a separate Instagram stream, because I'm sure Instagram works much better if I'm just streaming to Instagram. But we'll find out. Okay. Instagram is gone. Okay. All right, back to here. Oh my God, look at this. Oh. Why would you even bother saying, hello, sorry for bothering you? You know full well that you're bothering me. Bloody hell. That looks like I'll have to do a ban for Twitch. That's the next thing, getting all the Twitch chat into. Intensive. Oh, God. That's just... Does anyone really think that would work? I want to offer promotion of your channel. Viewers, followers, views, chat bots. I already know about chat bots and stuff. I wouldn't pay you to promote my channel. I just haven't spent the time setting up either StreamerBot or Stream Elements. I mean, I don't need you to tell me what is out there. Yeah. But do they think that works? Hi, I'd like to crash your stream, and you know, God. Anyway. I'm sure it doesn't work. I'm sure they've got no. I'm sure it doesn't work. I mean, it assumes I know what Steamrise is to start with. Go to Steamrise. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, don't want to get grumpy. I'm quite happy that things have worked out today. And Naomi, I'm glad you like that. It is quite good, isn't it? That thing. I'll get a bunch more things. I'll get a bunch more things worked up. I've been editing some videos with more like an intro video so that I can make it a bit more interesting than what I've always been doing. I've got to make all these colours uniform across all the little windows, and yeah, make some nice borders, and yeah, and let's just try those transitions. Oh, wipe. Oh, it's too fast, isn't it? Let's try this. That's still too fast, those transitions. What about a fade? How'd that do that? Oh, I know why. Because I'm... yes, that's a European bee-eater, Naomi. That Naomi says that's a beautiful little bird. Is it a bee-eater? Yes. I think that was on a video in yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the European bee-eater. Now that I wasted so much time trying to get these get all this working, and now that it works, I'm happy. Now I can make all the little stingers and transitions and whatnot. And now I know I've got to get the audio on all the web pages and clips and stuff working. And now that I want to get that happening, that's where I might just send you a message on the Facebook, Naomi, when I'm ready to try something out later on. What is it now? 2:30. I probably wouldn't be till late. Oh, excuse me. Late afternoon. I'm going to have a nap since I was up at 2:00 watching the Majority Report, then the Olympics. Insane, right? Anyway, Naomi, are you feeling the sense of relief and the sense of joy that I think the centre left and the left in America are feeling about the general change in the US? Cool. It's like it's just you and me here on a private stream, Naomi. Oh, and that's what I'll do. I'll set it up as an unlisted or private and send you a link. Send you a link? Yeah, because that way is... Yeah. I'll just do it as an unlisted. Yeah, that'd be the go. Okay. Well, thanks, Naomi. Thanks, anyone else who was watching, except for the Twitcher. That was crazy. Yeah. Good. Did you see, Naomi, how Donald Trump at one of his rallies about 3 or 4 days ago was purposefully mispronouncing her name, and the people were suggesting that Kamala should say that, you know, Donald, he's having so much trouble pronouncing my name, Don Old, because he was going Kamala. I reckon he'd freak out with that. But anyway, it's not all over yet. It's not done and dusted, but certainly feel a lot happier about the possibility of some actual climate action happening in the next 4 odd years. All right, I'm out of here. Thanks, Naomi, for feeding back. Yeah, I really... Yeah, Project 2025. Oh, it's the actual dismantling of the public service, what they call the civil service it would be horrific. That would be very, 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 very horrific. Anyway, let's try and be positive. And hopefully when I next dip through my news feed, I can find some good news. I'm happy I've found some good research. But I'm not seeing much in... actually, did I find that one? Oh, it's quite old now. The only good news that I saw was that the yeah, it's a month ago. That cuddling koalas has been taken off the list of things you can do at one of the wildlife parks in Brisbane. So that was good. Anyway, that's it. We're knocking off now. So if I get around to it, Naomi, I'll message you. Yeah. Thanks, Naomi. I feel like it was so super low energy. I think I'm going to be low energy until the Olympics are over, because I can see myself being up, like watching. Well, certainly for the next, I think it's 6 more days, we're watching swimming the heats in the afternoon and the semi-finals, and then at 4:30 in the morning is when the finals start, and I'm generally watching something between 2 and 4:30, so I'm just jamming sort of 4 or 5 hours of sleep in between. So, but yeah, it's always good getting these things done. I'm so happy, Naomi, that I've got this worked out, and I think now all I need to do is work out how to get the chat in the up so that everyone can see it. Oh, Naomi, you like watching the Tour de France, do you? That's something I don't do. I used to years ago, but I don't do that. I don't do that anymore. I'm too busy getting up and watching the Majority Report live, I just like watching it live. I know I could watch it on the replay later, but I do like watching it live. Okay, I am out of here. Thanks, everyone. Look out! There's some changes happening for the bird emergency. We're going to be doing things a bit different as we come into August, and I'll get back to being a bit more consistent. And we'll try and have a bit more fun. Can deliberately try and have more fun, and habitat gardening coming up on Saturday too. Again, Saturday at 9:30 a.m. Australian Eastern. Always look out for that. Follow the show, thebirdemergency.com/YouTube, because that's where all the new things are going there first. Okay. Uru. Bye.